I wanted to do a quick video for Alliance leaders about preparing your team for the upcoming Mightiest Governor Elimination of Enemies event, otherwise known as the Killing event. If you look in the events calendar, this Mightiest Governor event is going on. We're currently in stage 3. We've already done the previous 2, which was troops training and gathering. Oh no, defeating barbarians, and then today is gathering. And you'll notice that the people are really competing for top 10. These top 10s and these stage rankings, they're not that important. You can tell they're not very big rewards, but the overall rewards are quite substantial. And so they try to get the top in every single event. And what's disconcerting is that the fifth event, the fifth stage, which also goes into the 6th day, which is the final sprint, is an event known as Eliminate Enemies event. It is a very, very negative event. A lot of the people who are part of this call it the killing event. And I am certain that KWP, Crew, and KH will be participating. I already have confirmation from leaders in KWP. They say that this is the only time they allow them to attack gatherers in cities, which isn't true because their players are attacking cities and gatherers. But in this event, it's going to be extreme. Very, very extreme. My first killing event, I didn't even have a clue what was happening at the time. I had sent my gatherers out to gather, gone to bed, and of course at night when you go to bed, you send out the maximum number of gatherers you can. So they were maxed out. Wake up and huge bills in for healing my troops, and everyone's been attacked, and I have no new resources. So what happened? And none of us were expecting it. Maybe our lead knew it could happen. He's told me that before, that there are bully kingdoms that he knows of, but he didn't prepare us, and his response was not the best response, but I'll cover that in a different video. And believe me, he's learned from it. And we talk a lot, even now, about things of this nature because I helped him work out some things because we went to war. And it was in part because of his response, which is another thing I must caution alliance leaders about. If you try to respond to these bullies who are 10 times the size of us now, which that may change if we start reaching out to their individual members and help them realize what they're doing. Many of them just think they're part of a team and this is how the game plays, and it's not. There are so many better kingdoms out there where they don't act like this. And I don't even know how this culture developed because I am a newbie to this game too, and I just decided to stay to help out new players learn how to adapt to the situation of a culture with bullies because that's what I've dealt with most of my life. So I wanted to reach out to you and share with you the video that or the email that I sent out to them. I will actually read it because with YouTube it will get transcribed, and that's the only reason I'm actually using this channel is because of the transcription service. So I'm going to go ahead and read that email, and you can take it out of the transcription, modify it, do whatever you want with it. I'm okay with that. It's called MGE Stages and Upcoming KE Part 1. Okay, it's in 3 parts. As you get to know me, you'll notice that I tend to explain in great detail. I'm used to receiving questions from so many different people that I actually over-explain. Some people say I talk too much, but I think it's because the translator's so slow, and I know how frustrating that can be. But one thing I will tell you, if you get tired of hearing my voice when I'm reading this, just pause it and read it yourself. There are a couple typos I noticed when I was reading it over again, but c'est la vie. I know it won't translate very well, though, with those typos. So just do the best you can with it, and I will read this for the transcript. You may have noticed that one of the events we are in right now is the Mightiest Governors Event. It has 5 stages, followed by a sprint that includes getting points from all the activities of the previous 5 stages. This may seem like any other ROK event, but it is not. Many people believe, and all the bullies and thugs are among them, that the points on the scoreboard are very important and worth pursuing, no matter what it means to self and others. This may seem innocuous until you consider Stage 5, the Elimination of Enemies event. There is a short video posted on the Rock and Roar channel on YT that demonstrates this. In it, I explain how many people call Stage 5 the killing event, and they go far and wide attacking gatherers and any troops out in the open. Many also attack cities. They don't care that by doing so they are indeed making people their enemies and also enemies of their alliance. Moreover, they do it without regard to the fact that there are actual people behind those avatars they are attacking, and that many are children or have a sensitivity that can be easily harmed by the perceptions created by their unwarranted attacks. I have seen so many people simply leave the game after these events, abandoning their alliances in the kingdom. To the attackers, this means nothing until they start waking up to the fact that the way they play this game affects how they are perceived by those around them, oftentimes with critical eyes from their own friends and allies. If you look at how they get points, you will realize that it's about quantity and quality, the level of troops killed or severely wounded. So buckle up. My wish is that during that event, no one send out troops to gather without watching the surrounding areas. If you do send troops, send only level 1 and send few because they get fewer points, and if they aren't scoring a lot of points in the area, they may go away. Do not make your city tempting to attack. Keep your storehouse below capacity, your hospitals and watchtower upgraded as much as possible, and just do all the steps I mentioned in the videos zeroing the city. But my true preference is that you just build your city without gathering. Let your commanders and troops rest, except for a few barbarian hunts under your vigilance. And consider creating another city as a farm city and work on that. I will create a quick video on that process and post as well. I've already created the videos and they are already on the channel. There's 3, but they cover different aspects of it. Other suggestions to pass the time: scout, scout, scout. By directing your scouts in methods like those I suggest in the Clearing the Fog videos, you will clear more, but they are more proactive and can help you start becoming familiar with the surroundings. There are also videos on the Rock and Roar channel about the surroundings based on my analysis from clearing out fog and viewing from above. They may help you do more analysis, which I hope you will share with me and the team. Complete the expeditions up to the furthest point possible. I tend to try to complete all expeditions that are a piece of cake. Also, you can play with different commander combinations in the same expeditions and look at what a difference the commander choices make in the expeditions, and thus in the interactive game as well. Stay safe, my friends. We've already experienced what the bullies are willing to do when they don't even reap high rewards for doing so. With the rewards on the ranking board, they will be tempted to go much, much further to cause us harm without remorse on their part, until some of my words start to cause them to ponder and feel regret. I've seen what the power of words can do. Plus, with the video channel, we can help turn their 15 minutes of fame into 15 minutes of shame for those who have a conscience. If you go to the Rock and Roar channel, I want you to know that the Roundtable playlist is the priority for this alliance and the alliance leaders that I reach out to. These are the videos of immediate concern. There are other playlists. The second priority for alliance members is the training one, which includes short clips on specific topics and questions that come up frequently. The bullies playlist is to help people understand the culture and environment that are created in a kingdom like the one we are currently in. I make these videos to help new players adapt to the game and create an experience as they want and choose. The bullies work against that, so I felt video training will help create an anti-bullying atmosphere as we build strong together and then start reaching out more to others to spread the news of how the game can be a better experience all around without an atmosphere of intimidation and domination by the few. So as you can see, I'm trying to prepare them for this and have them be distracted by doing other things that will help them get stronger. All of the suggestions will make for a stronger city and a stronger alliance. So I hope that all of you will start reaching out. I am going to close real quick by showing a quick synopsis of how this is all shaping out. This is KWP. This is the bully in our area here of Spirit. They have already taken the central fortress here, and well, they started taking the flags. I just kept demolishing them, and in the end, I demolished the central fortress as well. They didn't have to. I was going to move. It's just I wasn't willing to put on their flag. They wanted me to move up here. They said they would help me take altars and conquer all the other small alliances in the way, and I said I won't be part of that, and I wouldn't work with the one leader who wants to do that. I'll show you too, looking into the alliance, who that leader is. You should know as alliance leaders who that person is. His name is the Phoenix. He will not work with you. He will try to dominate you. I have had interactions also with Cooley and Mr. Coco. They're pretty weak leaders. They actually, though, were starting to see reason and question or actually compliment some of my comments to him, challenging him, which made him have to shut down the conversations. So he seems to have his thumb over them. I'll also point out this power, how quickly it's going up. They're recruiting as quickly as they can anyone who's a strong leader. I'm sorry, a strong city. I shouldn't say leader. I don't even know if they have any leaders in there, to be honest. So far, I have not met a single person who's an actual leader. The Phoenix is a bully. Cooley is, I don't want to call names yet to Cooley and Mr. Coco. There is a possibility they might be able to work with us. Infantry Strong is a bully. I actually think he jumped with me from another kingdom. So, and I've seen other cities that have joined and then possibly left. I've been challenging some people when I see them doing bully activities, but haven't gotten a response to those actual. Usually they do respond either with foul language or some other thing. So they first took ours, which is right here, but they didn't take it. They think we lost. I don't think we lost because it was never my intention to see. I inherited this alliance from some other leaders that I jumped with, and they wanted to make a real strong presence. I actually think they were allied with this alliance. I'm not sure. I can't remember the correspondence before we jumped, but I remember there was strong people already coming over kind of thing. It is very big in the Asian culture to do these huge alliances that jump together and they have their plan ahead of time and they coordinate on Discord or some other social media. And I learned this from a Vietnamese friend that I met on this game. He was actually a former enemy and now he is a friend, and he planted some seeds of information, and then I did my own research and put the pieces together. But they didn't want us here because they didn't want us going for this altar, and they didn't want us going for this pass, and so they wanted us to move, and we had already built our flags, and I was in dialogue after I inherited it, but I was only in dialogue. Initially, I was several on the team. Then I was only in dialogue with the Phoenix, and he kept saying, "Yes, we'll work with you," and da 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 da. But will you be loyal? And will you you're going to put on the banner, and this is what we wanted to say. And I'm like, I'm not going to be associated with an alliance that's bullying. So we had to go, and because I challenged his authority more than anything, he didn't want the others actually listening to me. And then he went after WHS 9's flags right here, because I had warned them about the passes and the altar. And they had started building down towards this pass, blocked this pass, and they were right near the altar. So their flags had to come down according to KWP's action. And then there was a small alliance right down here who had a central fortress. No threat whatsoever, was only building in this little zone right here. And they took down their central fortress, or they attacked it. I have a feeling they may have taken down their own central fortress. So, but this alliance, JRDV, they were not a threat. They are not big. You know, they were not at all a threat. 9 million, 10 million, not a threat at all. But of course, that wasn't the point. The point is they either have to become a slave alliance or be pushed out. That is, and I've got this pretty much in their own words. I'll share that in a separate video. And then today they started going over here after IP2. I had done a separate little video that I haven't posted that this is what I predicted. I saw that a flag came down over here. And then I noticed that, of course, this is their farm alliance, one of their slave colonies, and they're not big enough to compete for this altar. So since IP2 dared to take this altar, they're going to go after them. And I have no doubt that they will go after that central fortress, especially because they're also down here by 2. Another one they're going after is CINF up here because they were going around this sanctum, which is a level 2, so it's not open yet. They took this level 1, And this is one of their slave colonies, and this is one of their slave colonies. And they were both pretty small just a day ago, but now they are attacking CINF on both sides. So CINF is going to have a big battle ahead with this, and don't put it past them to take some of their big cities and teleport them over there. That's what they did to attack us, even though we weren't that far from them. They did teleport cities. Some of the cities are still sitting there. Um, they're not really doing anything. I don't even see them out farming, but they must be doing something because this was a level 17. Another one had teleported in here. It was a level 16 and it was bubbled, which made no sense to me. That was one that I reached out to and asked, why are you wearing a peace shield? The only bullies are the one or the alliance that you belong to. That's the kind of fun little dialogues I like to start with individual cities. And I plan to do a lot more because I don't think a lot of people who sign on to an alliance like this know what they're signing on to. The way we play a game shows our character and our integrity and even our intelligence. They don't play smart. They play with one focus. Their one focus is to capture this lost temple. And even if they do succeed, they will have so little support and respect and trust, it'll be an incredibly weak kingdom. This I know because that's how my first kingdom is working out. I had predicted it from the beginning when I started seeing the bullying activity, and the bullying activity in that kingdom, at least in my zone, wasn't even nearly as bad and nearly as quickly set it up as it is in this kingdom. So if one of these, and over here we have crew, we have this crew, we have, that's just a little one of their slave colonies. We have this crew, and we have this crew. And they're all working together with KWP. And then over here we have KH, and they're also working together. One of their slave colonies. And down here in Zone 4, well, more in Zone 3, so this is another one of their big ones. I don't know if that's KH. I haven't opened up enough. But down here in Zone 4 even, they have a slave colony. So once they get one of these passes, then they're going to start trying to do the same down here. But they do have big alliance competition down here. They're just not quite as big. But also by that time, since they're all working together, the big cities from KWP will be able to join a KH or whoever owns level 1 and teleport over to this zone, move down to this zone. So it's all a big plan. And then once they get the zone 2s, they'll do the same here. Except for in zone 2, the little alliances won't be allowed to get in. And the little alliances in zone 1 will always be treated like serfs and slaves. That's how it was in my first kingdom. My alliance, we just did our own thing. When the killing event came along, I was their alliance leader by that point. By the third one, I was their alliance leader, and I was like, please just stay home. You know, there's plenty to do. Just don't bother to send out to gather. And then they did. And then I sent one out, and I'm like, why am I doing this? But I do it just because to support them, and then I can contact the alliance leaders based on the new rules and say, what's going on here? Why are they doing this kind of thing? So basically, I just go along with it. I have a feeling I will actually probably tempt them to attack one of my cities just because I want to, and I want to test out some garrison chiefs. I haven't built up my garrisons the same as I have in other kingdoms, so I thought I might try a little bit of that and see if they'll be tempted to attack my cities, because they've been scanning one of my cities every now and then. So that is another thing you may expect from this event too, is they'll scan cities and they will attack the cities that don't that are more tempting. They did that right up here just yesterday. They took this alliance flag down because this alliance dared to try for the altar. That is the way they think. I know this from my interactions with them. And these two little cities here, oh, one has left. Oh, now that it looks like they might be doing something to this little guy here. But there was one here. He got attacked and he got attacked. I went to check on why the alliance flag was taken down. I kind of figured it had to do with the altar, but I just wanted to verify because I'm always checking these out when they come over the ticker tape to make my analysis and clarify things. And they were birding. And there was one troop just standing here, and then I saw him go back to his city, which is right here, infantry strong. He was at 1.5 million yesterday. Now he's at close to 1.7. And this guy, 42. And the other guy was only 150. So he's beating up or going after and attacking cities that are 1/10 his power, or in this case, 1/30th of his power. I mean, what lunacy. I mean, this is the way they think. Like, no one has value at all. They don't, this is just a game of war to them. But war isn't just about attacking little. In fact, war is not about attacking little guys. You attacking citizens is not war. That is tyranny or bullying or uh, oppression. That's not war. There's no war where attacking citizens is acceptable. Well, of course, we all have troops, we all have commanders. So, gosh, we're the enemy. This is the way they think. I'm kind of curious. I'm going to follow this and see who is coming after the city, and maybe grab some video if attack happens. Um, they may just be scouting. They like to scout the smaller cities and then attack the ones that they think they can get plunder from. They did attack my city. They didn't get any plunder because I built up my watchtowers. I also built up my hospitals, and I was ready for it. So hopefully you'll be able to prepare your people to do that as well. There are more videos on my channel about, like I mentioned in my email, zeroing a city. It's not like they say. They will probably, once they start noticing your alliance, they will probably go after the bigger cities and send them messages along the lines of join us or we will zero your city. And I did that with my alliance almost from the beginning. There was a lot of chatter in our alliance chat, and I'm like, zeroing a city means nothing. But a couple members did join them. But these couple members that did join them, one of them, I knew him from before we jumped, and he was one of those people who believed that player versus player on an uneven playing field where he's 5 times bigger than the other guy is okay. Plus, he was really pushy in the alliance chat when we were doing rallies on barbarian forts that he was insistent it could only be cavalry. I didn't understand that. I still don't understand that. But he was really nasty messages to a lot of people. And when I inherited it, he had changed his name and become our R4, one of my R4s, and I had no idea who he was at the time. And I opened a message with him. He didn't respond until he went over to KWP, and then he started saying, "I made that alliance. It's not yours." And I'm like, "Who is this?" So I had to ask, and I found out who he was. So I didn't ask him. I asked one of the actual leaders that did create the alliance. So I only lost 2, but the one that I lost was gonna go against us anyways because he's more of the bully type and he wanted to be a bully. So if he had been the R5, this alliance would have become one of their slave colonies. And then the other one that left, he just fell for the line of being zeroed. And then when he was asked to start zeroing our cities, he said no, and they kicked him out. So that's the nature of how they work. You either toe the line with them or you get kicked out, possibly even zeroed at that time. Zeroing a city is nothing. It really is. It's nothing, no big deal. So just keep that in mind. Take a look at some of those videos. I hope that they're great tools, I believe, to help people understand how to be better at this game, how to read things better. Later, I hope to get into some lessons in conflict resolution and building strong alliances and building strong teams. ROK version, but using my real world skills because that's what I've been doing for 30 years. So this has been a lot longer video than I expected, but I thought giving you a good overview in addition to preparing you for the MGE event, because we are going to definitely have them coming through this entire region, just attacking gatherers everywhere. And I can share some of those tricks at a later date. This first time, I'm just giving you the big heads up. Try to get your cities to keep their gatherers in for stage 5 and stage 6. It's 2 days. Just get them doing other things. Okay, signing off.